Happy Monday. Thank you for joining me for this week's Unlocking the Magic of Leadership. Now, this week we are looking at key number 4, inspire yourself and others. And I have to say that I was recently inspired, and I was inspired by my 8-year-old daughter. You see, she has been wanting to get her ears pierced, and she's been building herself up for it. This is not something that I influenced. It was specifically her decision. I do not have my ears pierced, so I was staying out of it. It was her decision. Fully supportive, but I wasn't leaning in one way or the other. So July 4th, we are sitting inside on the couch because it's 200 degrees here in Texas, and we don't go out until after the sun goes down. And she says out loud, "I'm ready to get my ears pierced." Okay. Cool. Are we doing this today? Are we doing this later? Like, when are we doing this? She says, "Let's do it today." I'm like, "Let's do it today." So ended up finding a tattoo parlor that could accept her to do the piercing. If you want to know why we went to a tattoo parlor versus like Claire's, drop it in the comments, email me. Happy to share the reasonings why, but we went to a tattoo parlor. So we go in, we sit down. She's asking, how much is it going to hurt? She's doing all of these questions, and we're telling her it's going to be like a shot because that's what we were expecting. We're still not exactly sure what happened, but the first piercing was not just like a shot. Judging by her face and her reaction, it was a little bit more pain than she or I was expecting. You also know that I struggle with anxiety. It is genetic. Unfortunately, that was one of the things that was passed along to her as well. And I could see the moment the flip switched. And we went from, I wanted to get my ears pierced, I'm super excited, to absolutely not, we're not doing this. Now, she has been building herself up for 18 months. So this isn't, we made a decision on Wednesday to go get our ears pierced on Thursday. She loves all things girly and makeup and dresses and sparkly. She really wanted to get her ears pierced. When that switch flipped, I knew that wasn't her, it was her anxiety. So we started working through it. We started using all of the tools that we have. We go outside, we have a conversation. The piercer is amazing and super patient. I'd given him a heads up that something like this may happen. And she's working her way through all of the tools that she has. And I'm doing my best to be encouraging. Got to take the first step. First step's always the hardest. We're doing everything that we can think of. And honestly, none of it's working. And we finally get back into the piercer's chair. And you can see, like, she'll psych herself up. Okay, I'm ready. Let's do this. I'm ready. And then all of a sudden she would completely, "I'm not ready. Don't do this." And it got to that point where the individual who was helping us was like, "I'm sorry. I have people waiting. Like, this is one of those, we got to go or we're not going." And so she says, "Okay, I'm ready." And y'all, my 8-year-old baby closed her eyes, went into herself, and held herself completely still so that the piercer could do the final ear. And the moment it was done, she looked at me with a huge smile on her face and said, "That didn't hurt at all." And to watch, again, this 8-year-old be able to understand that what she wanted was to get her ears pierced, that it was going to take her, we're not holding her down, like, I'm not about that life. It was going to take her to sit still to be able to do it and to find the courage and the strength within herself to do it. I immediately started crying. Like, it wasn't cute. It was big, ugly tears. My brother was with us. He ended up paying because I had to go out to the car because, like, I'm in a tattoo parlor bawling. It was one of those things. And the next day, when I had some time to reflect, the ability that we have to overcome difficult situations. Because if you think about it, she's 8. This was the most difficult situation that she has been in up until this point. And it was a battle that she had to have with herself. And how many times are the worst battles that we have to have battles with ourselves? Because when we think about it, when we're worried or we're anxious or we're thinking of, you got to give feedback to this person, or there's been a change in your organization, you don't know how it's going to impact you, we tend to spiral. I call it the dog chasing its tail, right? It's like your thoughts are a dog chasing its tail, and we have to do something to break that cycle. And to be able to see this visual representation of somebody do that was so inspiring. And so it was a moment of awe for me. And so the purpose of this video was, one, because I was just so damn proud of her, I can't stand it. But then also to remind you, you have survived hard things. You will continue to survive hard things. And you don't need to look for the strength in others. You have the strength in yourself to be able to do the hard things. So if there's something that you've been considering, something that you have been wanting to do, but you just didn't have the courage to do it, sit down, close your eyes, deep within yourself, because you already have everything you need to make the decision and move forward on whatever it is. So that's it. Thank you so much for joining me for this week's Unlocking the Magic of Leadership. I hope you have an absolutely amazing week. And as always, you got this. I'll see you next week.